Have you ever felt extremely motivated on a Monday? You watch a few inspiring videos, make a detailed plan, promise yourself that this time will be different, and feel absolutely unstoppable. But then something strange happens. By Wednesday, the excitement is gone. The gym feels harder. The work feels boring. The goals that seemed exciting suddenly feel distant. And before you know it, you're back where you started. Most people think the problem is that they need more motivation. But what if motivation was never the solution in the first place? What if the people who achieve extraordinary results aren't actually more motivated than everyone else? Today, we're going to explore why motivation doesn't work, why so many people depend on it, and what successful people rely on instead. Because once you understand this, you'll stop waiting to feel motivated and start making real progress. Let's begin with a simple question. What exactly is motivation? Motivation is an emotional state. It's the feeling that pushes you to take action. The problem is that emotions are temporary. Think about it. Nobody stays happy all the time. Nobody stays angry all the time. And nobody stays motivated all the time. Yet many people build their entire life strategy around a feeling that naturally comes and goes. Imagine trying to power your house with lightning. It would be powerful when it appears, but it would be unreliable. That's exactly how motivation works. It gives you short bursts of energy, but it doesn't stay long enough to build something meaningful. And that's why motivation often feels amazing in the beginning, but disappointing in the long run. Here's where most people make a mistake. They believe action comes after motivation. In other words, they think, once I feel motivated, I'll start. But reality often works in reverse. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Think about the last time you didn't feel like doing something. Maybe exercising, maybe studying, maybe working on an important project. At first, you didn't want to do it. But after a few minutes of getting started, it became easier. You gained momentum. Your brain shifted from resistance to engagement. This happens because action creates evidence, and evidence creates motivation. Every small step tells your brain, I am making progress, and progress feels rewarding. The people who consistently succeed understand this principle. They don't wait to feel ready. They start before they feel ready. Now let's talk about discipline. Discipline is often misunderstood. Many people imagine disciplined individuals as superhuman, people who never get tired, never get distracted, never lose focus. But that's not true. Disciplined people experience the same emotions as everyone else. They get lazy, they get bored, they get distracted. The difference is simple. They don't let their emotions decide their actions. Most people ask, do I feel like doing this today? Disciplined people ask, does this need to be done today? One question focuses on feelings. The other focuses on commitment. And over time, that difference changes everything. Because feelings change daily, commitment doesn't. Let's imagine two people. Person A relies on motivation. Person B relies on systems. Person A exercises whenever they feel inspired. Person B exercises every day at the same time. Person A works on goals when they're excited. Person B works on goals according to a schedule. At the beginning, both seem similar. But after a year, the difference becomes enormous. Why? Because systems survive bad days. Motivation doesn't. Everyone loves talking about success. But success is usually built during ordinary days. The days when you're tired. The days when you're busy. The days when you don't feel like doing anything. That's when systems matter most. There's an interesting idea from behavioral psychology. The easier a behavior is, the more likely you'll repeat it. This means consistency isn't just about willpower. It's also about design. For example, imagine you want to read more books. If the book is hidden in a drawer, you'll probably forget. If the book is on your desk, you'll see it every day. The goal didn't change. Your environment changed. And that small change can dramatically increase consistency. Successful people don't just depend on self-control. They design environments that make good habits easier and bad habits harder. Because they understand something important. Willpower is limited. Systems are scalable. Another reason motivation fails is because it focuses on outcomes. You get excited about losing weight, making money, starting a business, learning a skill. But eventually, reality arrives. and reality is repetitive. The gym becomes routine. The business becomes work. The skill requires practice. The excitement fades. If you're attached only to the outcome, you'll struggle when the process becomes boring. But successful people learn to fall in love with the process. They understand that results are delayed. The actions you take today may not show visible rewards for weeks, months, or even years, yet they continue anyway, because they trust the process, not their emotions. Think about a tree. When you plant a seed, nothing dramatic happens the next day. You don't see a giant tree appear overnight. For a long time, it looks like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, roots are growing. The same thing happens with personal growth. You may exercise for weeks before seeing major changes. You may study for months before mastering a skill. You may work hard for years before achieving success. Progress is often invisible before it becomes obvious. And that's why many people quit too early. They mistake a lack of visible results for a lack of progress. But consistency is quietly building roots underground. Now, here's a powerful shift in thinking. Stop asking, how can I stay motivated? Instead ask, how can I make the next action easier? This question changes everything. Because motivation is outside your control, but your environment, schedule, and habits are within your control. Instead of trying to feel inspired every day, focus on reducing friction. Want to exercise? Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Want to write? Open the document before you go to bed. Want to read? Keep a book beside your bed. Small actions remove resistance. And when resistance decreases, consistency increases. The truth is that most successful people are not constantly motivated. They're consistent. They've built routines that keep moving even when motivation disappears. They understand that feelings are unreliable, but habits are dependable. And every habit starts with a simple decision. The decision to act despite not feeling like it. That's the secret nobody talks about. The people you admire aren't winning because they always feel inspired. They're winning because they continue when inspiration is gone. So the next time you don't feel motivated, remember this. You don't need motivation to start. You need a small action. One push-up, one page, one paragraph, 1 minute of effort. That's enough. Because action creates momentum. Momentum creates consistency. And consistency creates results. Not motivation. Motivation feels powerful, but discipline lasts longer. Motivation starts the journey. Systems keep it going. And consistency is what ultimately changes your life. So stop waiting for the perfect mood. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. Take the next small step. Because the future you want isn't built by occasional bursts of motivation. It's built by consistent actions repeated day after day. And that's what actually works. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join ThinkSync Mind for more ideas that help you think better, work smarter, and build a better life. Thanks for watching.